Hello everyone, MC here for a very overdue video update. I've been wanted to record a video since a while, but I always end up watching much more videos than doing videos on YouTube. But I've been thinking since a while about a topic for a video, and there's something I would really like to talk about. As I said in previous videos, I've been moving overseas last October, so I'm now living in France, moving from Canada, and we received our stuff. All my tarot decks were packed and in storage for 6-7 months, and we've received them last June, and I was so looking forward to receive all my tarot decks. I was really like a child waiting for my tarot decks to arrive, and I was really feeling quite naked without my decks. So sorry, I'm finishing my setup here with a small candle. And so I've received my tarot decks last June, and to my surprise, the only thing I was able to do, and not because of lack of time or anything, was to unpack them, put them in a shelf, and they've been sitting there since. I had a huge blockage. I just could not use any of the decks, and I've been thinking and wondering about what happened. I mean, it's 3 months ago, and everything is in the shelf, but I'm not touching them. I've been moving them to my working table so I could see them and use them if I wanted to, but nothing, complete blockage, like overwhelm. I could not explain it. So it makes me really sad, because for months I've waited for my decks to come, and thinking about it, I think what happened is that these decks belong to another era of my life, because I don't know if you have an idea, but moving, changing continents, leaving everything behind and moving to a new country across the ocean is quite something of a transition in a lifetime. You don't do that often. And the energy here is quite different. Obviously, I was living in a place where winter lasts 6 months, even 7-8 months sometimes, and here in the south of France we got snow for one night. The climate is very, very fiery, and in Quebec, where I was living, it was very watery. And so there I kind of navigated 5 years around this watery energy, and I learned tarot, and I immersed myself in the tarot world, and it became really a part of my life, like something which grounded me, because it made me connect to the sacred on a daily basis. And so I was very much looking forward to this ritual while arriving here in France, when my stuff got delivered. And yeah, to my surprise, the energy here does not belong with the decks. So I guess the decks will have to sit around me for a couple of months, the time it takes, maybe a year, until they get this fiery energy of where I live now. My own energy still has to adjust. I'm still not completely here. It was very big of a change, and so finally what happened about 6 weeks ago, I was really desperate to play with my tarot decks, but nothing could bring me to do it. And I found on Amazon different decks, like the Lenormand decks and the Keeper decks, which I discovered, which I had no idea about. So suddenly a new world opened, and so I bought a keeper deck. I don't know if I have it with me yet, just here. So keeper, and I worked a bit with it. But then what I got really interested in is the Lenormand divination system. So I got this deck knowing nothing about Lenormand, and then lately I started to learn about the cards and about the story of Anne-Marie Lenormand. Also, she's the most well-known French psychic who lived in the 1700s around Paris, and she lived also in London. Anyways, so this deck is not really her deck, but it's using, I think it's inspired by her, because I think she never taught anyone. Anyways, I ordered her biography, so I will read a bit more about her. So this felt so good because I started to learn a new system. So it opened up a whole new universe for me. Actually, these two decks are not my favorite. I found them quite dark, but I ordered another Lenormand deck, which I will receive soon, which is different artwork and maybe more in the spirit of Lenormand. I really like Ciro Marchetti's work, but it's always a little bit dark. So, but anyways, so I started to learn Lenormand with this deck, and it is so interesting. So I put tarot aside for now, and I'm so glad that I found something to dig in. So if you ordered this deck, by the way, I ordered first the French version, but don't do that if you can read English. Order the English one, because it comes with a nice little booklet, which you don't get in other editions. And so one of my first questions for the deck, it was on the 7th of August, already 20 days ago. I asked the deck, what is happening to the world right now? And it's so amazing, the answers that I got. So I will take for granted that you don't know Lenormand. So I will explain you, and please, if you know Lenormand, I'm not an expert yet, I'm just a beginner, so I go with my own interpretation. But actually the cards have a really clear meaning. It's not like the tarot, which a card can be interpreted in many ways. It's a bit more precise. So what is happening to the world right now? The first card was the Sight, which in the Lenormand is one of the very difficult card. The Sight means a shortcut, a sharp change, a huge break which was not expected, separation, a sudden loss, a shock, a trauma. So I think this explains very well what's happening in the world right now. But wait for the other cards. The second card I got is it's the Cross card, which is also in the Lenormand deck a really heavy card. So to have these two come in the same reading means a lot. It has a lot of weight. So this card is about grief, ordeals, suffering, trials, and burden. Then the next card is the Time card, which means that it's a timely event. It had to happen now. We could not wait longer. This we have to go through now. And then I pulled up a clarifier because I wanted to have more information about all of this. Of course, I wanted to know more, tell me more. So the next card I got is the Death card. So basically in this reading I got 3 out of 4 really heavy cards in the Lenormand deck. So you guess what it means. It's an ending, the ending of an era, the end of the world as we know it. So I was very, very impressed. Again, I don't very much like the design of this deck. It's very dark, but it speaks so much to me. So we know that what's happening right now in our world is something which no one expected. We're grieving our old life, the old world, but I think the old world is not coming back. We're gonna have to change. It's really the end of something, and it's timely. It had to happen, and it's happening now. And I pulled out another card, one last card at the end, which is the card of the community, the crowd, the public space, the group. So this is just an amazing reading, that for our worldwide community right now, things are really shocking. It's really hard, it's really a burden, there's a lot of loss, it's really the end of something, but we have to go through it. And I believe we all choose to be here, so somehow maybe we knew that we would have to go through such a crisis. Let's see what happened next. So this was just to give you an idea how amazing a reading with Lenormand can be. Then the interesting thing, right away after this reading, what I did was to make a reading asking how do these change affect me as a person, me personally. And very interestingly, I got the side again. So for me it is also a trauma, it's a sudden loss, it's a shock which I did not expect. Strangely enough, I've pulled out the Death card again. So for me it's also the end of an era, and it's really affecting me. And very strangely I've also pulled out the Time card, but it is timely and it has to happen now. Ooh. So this was quite impressive of a reading. I just cannot believe it. I mean, anyways, I did other readings with Lenormand afterwards. They were not so spectacular, but these two I really wanted to share with you. So maybe, yeah, let's see, I think in the next week maybe I will ask how should we behave now, what is the best course of action for us as individuals on a daily basis. In a sense, the cards are so right, because this crisis has affected me so badly. I live very remotely. I have no contact with the city, so I barely see people. I don't watch the news really, but I can feel the energy in the air, and this feeling of the world will not be what it was, and it was not fine, okay? So things have to change, but for me it's really a shock and a trauma. I did not expect that. No one expected it, and all our lives are shaken right now, which seemed with something which was supposed to last some weeks or a month, and now it's many months and we see that we're not out of it. Anyways, so I just wanted to share that with you today. I hope I can make some more videos in the next weeks and stop just watching passively videos and make more. I have so many ideas. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you're well, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.